Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. Edgar Berlanga scores the 17th first-round knockout of his career by blitzing Jonathan Gonzalez-Ortiz, a guy from Puerto Rico who actually had 10 years out of the sport. 10 years, from 2014 to 2024. He's had two comeback fights, if you like. But he came in looking really flabby. I mean, around the middle, he had this, love handles or spare tire or whatever you want to call it. And Balanga, there's been friction between Balanga and Eddie Hearn. This is the final fight of his contract with Hearn. And he was saying, well, I'm a free agent now. Everything's great. I can go where I like. Well, Hearn countered by saying, look, you had 3 fights prior to this Ortiz fight. You earned $12 million. You headlined at Madison Square Garden and you fought Canelo. And you, according to your contract, you wanted to have a little tune-up, which, well, they don't get more little than this tune-up because Jonathan Gonzalez-Ortiz, whatever he's called, he tried his best. Like I say, he apparently hasn't lived the life. I mean, I don't know why he had 10 years out, what was going on there. But when you come back, this isn't even his weight class, 168. He can get rid of that flab, that soft, he ballooned up in weight, so maybe it is just loose skin. But you got the feeling that this guy, if he lived the life, could go down to at least 160. Because he's no match in terms of punch resistance or power or anything for people like Edgar Berlanga. And don't forget, Berlanga lost every single round against Canelo. So this was an opportunity for Gonzalez-Ortiz, but he wasn't going to win it. I mean, he started exchanging punches. Berlanga hit him with a couple of wallops, and he sort of shook his head. Ortiz shook his head as if to say, yeah, it's nothing at all. And within the next few seconds, there was a huge left hook, which flattened Ortiz, put him down on he kind of fell down on his back and then rolled onto his side as if he was desperately trying to get up. He got up too quick. Berlanga put him over a second time with the right hand that just virtually the next punch he threw, which banged him into the ropes, and Ortiz fell down. That was a second count. Could have stopped it then, but the ref thought, okay, I'll give you one last chance. Let him carry on, and straight away Balanga was on him, bang, knocked him down for a third time, and the ref stepped in and stopped it. I say he knocked him down, I think he knocked him into the ropes, which would have been probably a knockdown, but the ref stopped it. So, yeah, it's a bit of a mismatch, really. I was thinking beforehand, because Balanga has had this dispute with Hearn, I was thinking, well, is his concentration of where it should be, which should be on this upcoming fight, but to be honest with you, I mean, at 35, with decades in activity, Ortiz, who was undefeated, by the way, came in with 20 wins, 16 KOs, no defeats and just one draw. But as the commentators were saying, he hasn't lived the life. But I was thinking maybe Balanga wasn't concentrating on the work ahead. But clearly he was. Like I say, this is his 17th first-round knockout. And he regards himself as being a massive star now, Balanga. He's still only 27. And, like I say, he lost every round against Canelo. If he'd won rounds against Canelo, if he'd put on a sort of sterling performance, where he gave Canelo a good fight, he made him think, he won a few rounds, then you could say, okay, he's a viable elite super middleweight. But I think he's just a little bit below that. It's kind of like Caleb Plant and Balanga, I think, would be a very good fight. I was going to say Munguia, but of course the Frenchman knocked him out, didn't he? That unknown Frenchman. But, if he wants to come back, Munguia, I'm sure he will. Perhaps him and Balanga would be a good little row. But I think, to be honest with you, Canelo's going to have to give up the belts. I mean, he's got William Skull coming up, hasn't he, for his old IBF belt that they stripped him of, and Skull picked it up, and now, so it's another undisputed fight for Canelo. probably claim he's, 2-time undisputed or something if he beats Skull, as he should do. But I think the belts will have to go up in the air for people like Balanga and that level. Balanga, Plant, Munguia. If they want to pick up a belt, they can. But Canelo still seems to be a little bit above the others, especially now that Benavidez and Morel moved up to light heavy and recently had their contest. Two very, very good fighters, Morel and Benavidez, who, it has to be said, Canelo kind of ducked. So Canelo is kind of still top of the tree at 168 simply because his biggest threats have moved up, and therefore he's already beaten Balanga, he's beaten Munguia, he's still ruling at 168, but I don't know. I like Balanga. I mean, Balanga's a good fighter. He's exciting to watch. He comes out banging. But he's going to have to beat better people than Jonathan Gonzalez-Ortiz if he's to say, if he's to get the rematch with Canelo. He's only 27, so there's plenty of time for him to pick up belts and build a legacy. But I think the others, the ones underneath Canelo, are going to have to sort of fight each other and vie for that leading position. What's his name? Mbile, from Canada, wherever he's from. Christian Mbile. He's another one who's in the mix. But it is kind of all up in the air at the moment. It's in that transitional period, I think, where all the fighters, like I say, will need to have a little round robin and see who emerges as the heir to the throne, shall we say. But I don't know. You tell me what you think about Balanga. I mean, this fight didn't tell us much that we didn't already know. But what do you think about the 168-pounders? Who do you think leads the charge? Who do you think is the best below Alvarez, below Canelo? Tell me. Give me your opinions. I'm eager to hear them. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening. As usual, if you're new to the channel, you can subscribe. That would be great. And if you like the video, hit the like button. Thank you very much. Spread the word about Joe Stunner Boxing. Much appreciated. Take care, everyone. I'll get you later. Bye for now.